Hey guys, we're getting ready to start our gravy. I'm going to show you a really quick recipe on what to do with your leftovers. Here we have 2 tablespoons of butter melted. To those 2 tablespoons of butter, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour. And that's tablespoon number 1. Incorporate it really well. As you see, it's going to start to get a little doughy, and that's fine. You got time. Okay, that's tablespoon number 2. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and throw in our seasonings. We're going to add a little bit of sea salt. That's because I like the slow release and light saltiness of sea salt. I'm adding in a little black pepper. And it's just a little bit. Next, I'm going to pop in some garlic. Okay. And that's just a little juice from the garlic. Alright. So here we go. We're all started. Now it's time for us to go ahead and add our milk. And as usual, you add your milk a half a cup at a time. So that's 1/2 cup of milk. And we're going to just stir this up and let our butter and our flour melt down perfectly. Here we go. As you see that this is starting to look like a really creamy white gravy. We have a little bit more seasoning to add because this gravy is going to go on chicken. I want it to have a nice chicken flavor. The best way to get that is with our chicken bouillon cubes. So since this is just going to be a gravy for the chicken to sit in and the chicken is going to flavor it the most, I'm only going to throw in about 2 bouillon cubes, okay? There we go. And we have our 1/2 cup of milk in here. Let me get you another half. Alright. So you'll see what it looks like with the entire cup of milk. Okay. And I apologize, I misspoke. It's not a chicken bouillon cube. We're cooking chicken, but we're going to put in a beef bouillon cube here. I'm actually putting in 2. So let me go ahead and get this one. And the reason why I'm doing beef, even though there's going to be chicken in here, is just a different little variance in flavor. So it's not just straight chicken. Because you can easily get bored that way. Thank you. Alrighty, so now we've got 2 bouillon cubes. And we have our sauce all made. And this is looking pretty good. See how it's going to turn brown from that bouillon cube? That is exactly what you want. Just let it keep cooking. So once these have melted down, I'll come back and show you what we're going to do next. Okay guys, we're back. As you see, I made the gravy disappear. I really didn't make it disappear. I actually poured it up into a separate container. And I have my skillet still nice and hot, and I left a little gravy here. What I'm going to do next is throw in some onions, okay? This is a great use for any leftover chicken you may have in your home. Let me grab some of these onions. I don't want to lose the heat here. And just, if you have a little gravy left in there, that's fine. It does not matter, guys. Just make sure those onions are broken apart nicely, okay? Now this is, in total, a whole onion. And it's a fairly small onion. Okay. Okay, now that's going to go in. The next thing we're going to put in is, last night, for instance, my family had, no big pieces. Okay, last night my family had some Popeye's chicken. So, we had a few pieces left. And I'm going to just put those straight in, okay? Alright, now this is going to make plenty of gravy for just these little few pieces of chicken. It doesn't look like it will initially, but trust me, it will. Now pour your gravy on top, and I put a little extra bouillon in this vessel while I had it sitting. Alright, so now all you have to do is let this chicken sit, okay? Put the heat down on low and just let it simmer in its own juices. Okay, so I'm going to put that on low, put a lid on it, and I'll show you what it looks like in a few minutes. Okay guys, so we're back. It's time for our next step. You see how all that gravy just kind of disappeared? It just started cooking right into that crust. It's exactly what you want. Because now you're going to break it up. This is my chicken broth. And you guys probably remember this from another video because it's homemade. So it's got vegetables and it's got onions and bell peppers and garlic and all that good stuff in it. So now we're just going to add the chicken broth to it. Get that bone out of there. Alright. Oops, sorry. So we're going to let this continue to cook. And I will put how much chicken broth I'm using in the comment section. Okay guys, we're back. I just want you to see what it looks like. This is with the chicken stock or broth or whatever you want to call it. It's the broth. Duh, what am I talking about? Chicken broth in it. It's cooked down. It's still very nice and thick. And you know it's done because look. Bone. It cooks itself right off of the bone. And that's exactly what you want because it makes your job a whole lot easier when you go through and pick up all these little bone pieces. So now I am going to remove my bone. I've made some rice. And I'm going to pop that rice in there. And I'll make a video in the future about rice too because I have a few rice cooking tips. But for instance, this time with the rice, I didn't make the rice, and this is hot. So you know I must really like what I'm doing. But that's the rice. Good God almighty. That is very hot. Literally just got through cooking that. But, I'll wipe my hands. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the rice in here. I'll let it cook till it's just about where I like for it to be served. And then I'll put it in here. But first I got to go through and get all these bones out. So I'll show you a finished picture in just a moment. I know I keep saying that, but I'll be absolutely done. It's so many things I just keep wanting to tell you guys. So let me get out all these bones and I'll see you in a moment.